You can look rich this summer without actually being rich, but it's taken me the past 3 years to learn what I'm sharing with you. Looking wealthy is not easy at all, and it was a journey, but by the end of this video, I will have given you all you need to be $1 million man. But to make it easy, I've broken it down into the 3 key parts. But first, let me introduce Jordan. Like myself, Jordan wanted to appear richer than he was, and it was in this order he learned to not appear, but be rich. The first step Jordan took was by far the most important, but also the most overlooked. This was his wardrobe. It's the simplest part, but if you do it wrong, you waste money. So don't waste money like Jordan did. Since we are talking about the summer, I'll give you the capsule wardrobe that brought his summer from a 6 to a 9. The first change he made to his wardrobe was the biggest. It was linen clothing. By far the most elegant choice for summer wear, and the most comfortable as well. He started with linen shirts and quickly moved on to linen suits, linen pants, and linen shorts. But wearing linen every day was a wrinkly mess. So he realized there had to be other options for when he had no linens to wear. That's when he discovered the amazing world of cotton. Now pay attention, because these pieces are what separates you from looking like you want to be rich and being rich. The first world he dove into was a familiar one of peak polo shirts, cotton long sleeves, but most importantly, spread collar long sleeves. It was then that he realized he had no nice pants or shorts. I know, he was pantsless, but he found that Gurkha shorts, chinos, and pleated pants, some with side adjusters, were the perfect and only pants to wear this summer. Not to mention, he did also buy silk pants, but experimenting with even weirder and newer fabrics, he dove into a new world. This was the world of the rich man's shoe. Up to this point, it was just Converse, sneakers, and the occasional loafer or Oxford, but this new shoe game made him throw out most of those. To simplify his shoes, tennis shoes, classy sneakers, leather Oxfords, suede loafers, and suede Oxfords, and even some of these weird pieces made their way into his wardrobe. But it is very important to waterproof and take care of your shoes, as he learned the hard way with his first pair of loafers. But even harder was the shift into this next category, which is absolutely essential: hats. From a simple logoless or classy logoed baseball cap to a Panama hat, his summers had never seen such pieces. But his hats, as great as they were, did not compare to the wealth that his watches gave him. His other accessories aside, his watches defined who he was: a man with taste. If he could tell you something right now, it's that you need a watch. He would also probably tell you that he loves cologne, and his favorite is Parfums de Marly Sedley. But Jordan's next step in this journey is something most people, including himself, neglected, which held him back for an entire year, when in reality, it was the first thing that should have been done. I would say subscribing, but at this point in time, this channel wasn't even around, but it will help you achieve that look so much faster. But what Jordan actually found held him back was a 2-part problem. The first piece of this problem was simple, but not talked about too often. It was tailoring his clothes. Before this point, all of his clothes fit him either too tight, too loose, or were just plain unflattering. Even if they were the correct size, proportions are different on everyone. My recommendation is to take the most worn pieces in your wardrobe to the tailor and have them altered. This can be pants, shorts, shirts, suits, every piece of clothing besides hats and socks. When Jordan did this, he found his clothing to be so much more comfortable and flattering that he thought it was the most important step. But the reality is the second piece of the problem hit him like a bus. His clothes may have been very nice, but he was making full navy outfits, beige and gray disasters, and so many more mistakes. It may not seem like a big deal, but it is. That's when he learned all about color coordination. Jordan learned the neutral color palette is your best friend, and not every outfit has to be a sea of bland beige or gray. Spice up beige or white outfits by incorporating a bright blue peacock shirt or even some pastel green shirts. Mix it up with the colors, because there is a full rainbow of neutrals to work with, not just the standard colors. He thought he finally had it figured out at this step, but Jordan's third step was by far the most disregarded, but it did drive most of the results. This is the third and biggest part of what separates a man from a rich man: mannerisms. I'm not just talking about table manners though. Jordan quickly learned that to be beside the top 0.1% of men, he had to hold himself in a certain way. A way I can simplify in his 3-step checklist, with each step being more important than the last. The first step was the simplest: posture, chin up, back straight, and what most people miss is walking with confidence. Feel like there's a rope holding you up, forcing your body straight and your chin up. This helped him not only look so much better, but feel better. But the next check wasn't quite as simple, but was still way more important. This was his table manners. Now, it is a lot to say, so I'm making a separate video on it now as we speak. But his checklist said elbows off the table, napkin in lap, use the right utensils, avoid noisy eating, and utensil placement. For utensils, when taking a break, cross them in an X on your plate. When done, lay them parallel on the plate to signal that you are finished with your meal. But although extremely important for dinners, the last one was by far the most important. This was his body language and language. Now this took a long time to master. The first piece was his body language, which he mastered by using his hands to speak, maintaining eye contact, facial expressions, handshakes, vocal delivery, and mirroring. And if you want a separate video on this, leave a comment down below. But his language is what really set him apart from others. He began studying his own language and increasing his vocabulary, just as the ultra wealthy have done. He read more, used the thesaurus, and spent days if not weeks perfecting the English language. But that's not really all Jordan had to do. He meticulously searched far and wide for the most affordable brands. That's why I, Jordan, say that you need to click this video if you want to learn these brands in less than 3 years.